all these college vloggers who I love so much and I love their videos, they're really pushing content right now that focus on hair, makeup, and clothes, and like dorm supplies, all the things you need to be prepared for college. But at the same time, you're going to college to get your education, you're going to college to take classes, to get information, knowledge, so that you could get a degree and practice that degree and get a career, so that you could be making them figures, sis, that you could own a house, that you could provide for your family and all that stuff. So really your main focus right now should be preparing for your classes, making sure you get all your work done, making sure you attend every class, get your textbooks and all that stuff. You want to have all that stuff all set and done, so that once you complete all your work for the day, okay, you could go out and party late night, you could hang out with your friends and stuff like that, and show off all your outfits and your makeup skills and stuff like that. So I'm gonna share some tips with you guys. Make sure you like this video, comment if I left anything out, what college you're going to. If you're gonna be a freshman, I'm still gonna be a freshman. This is gonna be my second semester, because if you don't know my backstory, I went to Howard University. I ended up leaving Howard because I didn't like it. It wasn't for me, so I came back home. Now I go to the University of Bridgeport. So this is my second semester. I'm supposed to be a sophomore, but so I have a little experience when it comes to this first time freshman thing. I know what you got to get done, how you got to get it done, how to be successful. So make sure you stay tuned for the tips. If this is your first time seeing my face on the screen and you want to be my sister from another mister, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, sis. I'm welcome to new subscribers all the time. But that's enough of this intro, girl. Let's get into the video. How to secure the 4.0. Alright, so maybe y'all not gonna believe me, so I'm gonna just put something on the side so y'all could see that your girl done got a 3.9 GPA last semester. And the reason why I didn't get a 4.0, I told this story to y'all plenty of times, but it is because I missed one day, one class, one day, because I thought there was no class on President's Day, because that's what my math teacher told us. So I said, okay, I don't have math, I must not have my other class either on that day. And turns out we did have class, and I missed it, and I missed the assignment. I failed whatever assignment she gave on that day, so I ended up having an A-. I mean, I could have talked to her about it, so honestly, truly, it's my fault. I could have talked to her about it. I could have asked her, can I have a makeup assignment? And I didn't do none of those things, so I just ended the semester with an A-, and all my other classes I had A's in. And so my GPA was a 3.9. Should have been a 4.0, but I'm gonna tell you guys how I almost achieved a 4.0 and just how I got straight A's, because A- is still an A. So I'm gonna tell you guys how I got straight A's my first semester in college. And if you don't really know my story, honestly, it wasn't my very first semester. I went to college before. I went to Howard University as a freshman, like straight out of high school. I went to Howard University. I ended up not liking it, so I came back home, and so now I go to the University of Bridgeport in my hometown. And yeah, so go to the University of Bridgeport. My major is general studies, because I'm taking courses right now to see what I really want to do. I don't want to just jump into something because, like, what if I don't like it? So, but this is the first semester that I completed, and I got a 3.9 GPA. So I'm gonna jump into what I did, because I feel like now I'm just saying anything. So first things first, classes start and you go into class. For every class I went to, all 5 classes I took, all 5 classes I took last semester, I sat in the very front of every class. Yep, I was that girl. I sat in the front of every class. I made sure the teachers knew my name, my face. I just made myself known to my teacher, because when you make yourself known to a teacher, like, they're gonna give you a break. They understand that college isn't easy. Like, college is really hard. Keeping up on all those assignments, especially when you're taking multiple classes, it's not easy. It's really challenging. So if you make a special connection with your teacher, then they're most definitely going to understand if you tell them more about you. And why is my mom so mad? Watch her in 5 seconds say she about to leave and call me. When they know more about your situation and you like have a good relationship with your professor, like they're gonna be so much like, they're gonna be really understanding, and they're just gonna give you chances when it comes to assignments and stuff like that. But for example, in my math class, my math professor, like, he was so nice and so understanding for all the students, but me, like, that unibrow though, sis, I sat in the front. I made sure he knew my name. I participated all the time, and we just had like a good like professor student like relationship. So when it came down to assignments, he was always like, oh, I know Tayannaa, she got this assignment down packed, I know she's gonna ace it. And because everything for math was online, so if I needed like an extra 2 points or something like that to get a 90 or to get a passing grade, he gave it to me. If I needed an extra day to get an assignment done, he gave it to me. You want to develop a good relationship with your professor, because trust me, they're gonna, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna have a great understanding about who you are and what you're about. And you just want to show them that their class is so important to them and that you take their class very serious. Let me make sure this don't look stupid, because if this looks stupid, I'm gonna be mad. Very good first step for like developing a good relationship with your professor, because they always say, they say it all the time, they be like, I could tell who's gonna get an A, because normally the people sitting in the front of the room get the A's, and then the people in the second row get the B's, back row C, back get them F's. So it's not a lie. Of course there's people who go against the odds, you know. And what I'm trying to say, that doesn't necessarily mean that you could sit in the back and not get an A, because honestly, if I sat in the back of any class, I would still get an A, because that's the type of student I am. But honestly, if you want that teacher to know, or that professor to know that you're serious about them, that you mean business, you will sit in the front of the classroom. I said, you want to participate, like, you want to let the teacher know that you understand the material. Like, I had my psychology teacher, she didn't say nothing until the very last minute, like after the last final or whatever. After the final, she didn't say nothing to me, but she was like, Tayannaa, it was a pleasure having you in my class. I could tell that you understand the material and that you take it very seriously, you take this class seriously, and it was a pleasure having you. Because every time, I'm not gonna lie to y'all and say that I read the chapter she had us to read like every night or whatever, because I didn't. But sometimes I would skim through it before class, and sometimes I did read it, or sometimes I would skim through it during class, because I wanted those participation points. Sis, I was raising my hand almost every other question in her class. Oh god, it looked like I got a unibrow. But yes, sis, I was raising my hand like almost every other question, just shooting out answers all the time. Everybody else was too scared to participate, or they didn't know the answer, or they didn't read, or they just wasn't like mentally present in class. But sis, I was just answering away like my life depended on it, because it did. My grade depends on it. So you really want to participate. And I was like that in almost every class. Like, I always raised my hand, I always answered questions, volunteered for like different scenarios or whatever in my philosophy class, even though his scenarios were very crazy. If you ever took a philosophy course, you probably know what I'm talking about. It deals with a lot of like real life situations and what you would do at the moment and stuff like that. You don't want to just sit there in the class and just do the work. Like, you want to go the extra mile if you really want an A+. You want to do your work. I know it's hard. Trust me, I know it's hard, but you have to try to complete almost every assignment. There was some nights I slipped up and I went to bed instead of doing my reading, and I would try to do it before class, but of course sometimes like you got to get ready, you don't have all the time. You don't have no time in the world to really sit there and do a reading right before class, especially if you had an early class like I did. I had a 9 or 9:30 class, and sometimes I didn't do the reading before class, so I was literally running to class while reading on my phone. If you don't have a laptop like I did, like a lot of people think it's impossible to go through college without a laptop. I didn't have a laptop. I couldn't afford a laptop. My financial aid covered all my tuition and my housing, so I didn't have any money left over or anything like that. So wanna know what I did? Sis, wanna know what I did? I took my behind to the library. See, there's nothing wrong with going to the library. Like, the library is perfectly fine. Like, there's a lot of people that go to the library, mostly older people, like more like upperclassmen, but a lot of people use the library. There's no shame in going to the library to study, especially if you want to get out of your room to study. I took my behind to the library, and I had no problem doing it, and I had no problem completing my assignments either, and I got all of them in on time. Also, another thing, if you don't have a laptop, I use Google Docs on my phone a lot to complete a lot of assignments and submit them online, just to save myself a trip from going to the library. And that came in handy, like that came in clutch a lot, because some days I just didn't feel like going all the way to the library, so I just typed it in on my phone. And I believe you could use that, like, if you have any smartphone. Like I was saying, do your work, sis. Complete those assignments. Study, study, study. You want to study, if not 2 weeks before the exam, at least 1 week, 7 days before the exam. And me, I wasn't too big on, like, flashcards or anything like that, but I took plenty of notes. That's another tip, sis. You want to take notes. I was taking notes like crazy in all my classes. Math, English, whatever class it was, I was writing away. People was looking at me like I was funny. People was just staring around, staring in blank space, daydreaming in class. But me, I was taking notes. And want to know what? Those notes came in handy because I understood the material completely. So you want to study really hard. You want to take plenty of notes. Even if it's the littlest things, you just want to take notes, because trust me, they will come in handy, especially when you're studying. And you want to study 7 days in advance of the exam, almost every day. Try to study every day. That's what I did. Just go over the material. It's better if you do it out loud, honestly, because you're able to recite it, and once you hear it, it could like stick in your mind easier. That's what worked for me. And even just reading it, honestly, because if you got a roommate, sometimes your roommate not gonna really want to hear all that. But you could go to the library, you could go to a study room or study hall or whatever, and just make sure that you study. Like, you really want to ace those exams, because they're a big part of your grade. I can't speak for every class, but I know for my classes, those exams were a big part of my grade, and I just took them very seriously. You know, people was out partying. You want to know what your girl was doing? Your girl was studying, and it's like, you could have a life in college. Like, you could do all that stuff, party and stuff responsibly, but you have to take your work very seriously. There's a lot of people, a lot. I heard plenty of stories of people who fell out of college just because they didn't take it like serious. And it's like, you go to college, you know, you experience that dorm life, that adult life on your own, and it's so exciting. Oh my God, it's so exciting to be away from home, to be on your own. But you just want to be responsible. Like, you want to make sure that like you give your parents a reason to trust you, like being on your own and all like that, because some parents honestly don't even let their children go away for college. And I feel like if you are one of those like students whose parents let you go away for college, you know, they didn't hold you back or anything like that, like, you're like, you should be grateful, especially sis. I think I got a shadow right there. Especially, sis, if your parents is paying for your college tuition. If your parents are paying for your college tuition, sis, you want to take that school, so you don't want to be out here doing the wrong things. You don't. You want to show them that their money is really going towards something, like, that they should be proud of, that they should be happy of. Like, that is really important. If your parents is paying for your college, if they are paying for your school, show them that their money is not going to waste, sis. Show them that what they're doing is so important to you, that you're just bringing home straight A's because you care about your future and you care about their money. You care about your time. Take advantage of tutoring, sis. I think one time I met up with somebody. They had like a tutor in my dorm hall who was going over the essays and stuff like that. And She went through my essay. She told me what changes I needed to make. And sis, I got 100 on it. I can't talk. I got 100 on that essay, sis. I got 100 on it. Take advantage of tutoring. If you need help in any subject, I'm 9 times out of 10. 9.5 times out of 10, there's somebody on your campus who can help you. So take advantage of them, because honestly, truly, that's the best thing you can do. I think I have something that I could put on my eyelids. That's the best thing you could do, sis, because you don't have to feel stuck in any of your classes. You can always ask the professor, you know, always ask the teacher for help. If you need extra help on something that you're not like understanding clearly, you can always ask the teacher. But you know, you gotta do the office hours and stuff like that. That's another thing. If your professor offers office hours, take advantage of that, sis, because they're literally leaving their door open for you, so you could go speak to them about an assignment that you may need help with, or material you don't really understand. You're not going to your professor, find yourself a tutor, sis, because a tutor is a great tool to succeed. If they give it to you for free, like, that's a win-win situation. You get free tutoring, you get that A+, sis. You can't go wrong. I want to make like individual videos to go into depth on some of this stuff, especially like study hacks, because I feel like that's very important. Huh? I'm going to get milk for the kids at Seatown. I'll be right back. I want to go like into depth on different topics for school, because we all need to be winning together. We all need to be getting that 4.0 together, sis. I'm using my Mary Kay age fighting moisturizer. I really didn't need this much because my skin does get oily in the summertime, and the makeup I'm about to be using is just gonna make it worse. I think I covered the base of everything. Like, I feel like if you just do your work and go to class, try to go to every class. I mean, I understand that things happen. Like, there was a few times I didn't go to class. Well, there was that one time, honestly. I didn't go to class, or I came to class late, but I still showed up. So I understand that, like, things happen. Like, that's just how life is. But try to communicate with your teacher if something does happen like that, something does pop up, and just let them know. Maybe they'll give you a chance. Maybe they'll give you extra credit. You just got to learn how to balance, especially if you work. I understand that's adding more to your plate, but you have to learn how to balance it all. Especially add that with a social life. Just having friends or a relationship, that's really a lot to balance. It's really a lot to like manage all together. But you just have to do it, sis, because you have to realize you're not the only college student, and nobody has it. You see what I mean by how like greasy this look? Nobody has it completely all together. So you have to realize you're just one out of many. You're one out of many college students who are trying to manage it all, who's trying to do it all. And it's not going to be easy. It's going to be very challenging. It's not going to be extremely challenging for some people, but, you know, for some people it may be extremely challenging. Like, it's college, but you'll get through it. You just got to find something that makes it easier. Me, that was God. Your girl had to go to Jesus because, sis, the struggle was real, and I came to a point where I realized I could not do it on my own, and I just needed Jesus, because he just made everything all right. I feel like if it wasn't for me putting all my trust in God and leaning on him throughout my whole entire college journey, especially dropping out of college and like dealing with the whole freshman thing all over again, I feel like if it wasn't for me leaning on Jesus, then I was not going to be able to get through it on my own. There were so many times, I know y'all probably tired of hearing me saying this, so many times I wanted to give up. So many times I thought I was going to be able to afford college. They gave me a scholarship, but sis, University of Bridgeport is expensive. So that scholarship helped, but it didn't cover everything. Staying on campus is expensive, sis. So I was really praying to God that he made a way, and he sure enough did. And I'm so grateful, and I thank him every day, because it's just a blessing just to be in college at all. It's really a blessing, because there's so many people who can't even afford to get their foot in the door. You know what I mean? So it's a blessing to be a college student. If you're a college student, you should be very grateful right now, because I'm pretty sure there's somebody out there wishing that they had the same opportunity as you. And you know, my mom says it all the time, that she wished she had the experience that I had. But as long as you balance it, sis, you could have fun. You could go out. You could do whatever. You just gotta know how to balance it. And once you learn how to balance it, you'll be all good to go. All good to go. I'm gonna apply some highlight to my face. This is what happens when you apply highlighter without actually looking at the amount you apply. You gotta blend that out, sis. That's too much. Sis, hopefully you learned something from this video. All these tips are to guide you, sis, because I really want you to be successful. I really want you to get this 4.0 this upcoming semester, because we don't have time to be getting bad grades, sis. We all want an education. We all want an education, but at the end of the day, sis, if you could put in all your effort, do that. If you could score above and beyond, do that. If you could reach the highest of highest expectations, if you could reach the highest of highest expectations, do that. A lot of people say the grades don't matter. It's all about the degree, but that's not true. Trust me, it's not true. Sure, we all get jobs. Well, not all of us. The degree will get you the job, but earning high grades, making the president's list. Like, when I found out I made the president, I was like, what? First of all, I was like, what's the president's list? And then I was like, oh, wow. Like, that opens so many doors for you. Of course, the people who say it's not all about the grades, they don't understand, because they're not getting there. But trust me, sis, trust me. The grades count too. It doesn't hurt to try. You may not have to get the highest of the highest, but it doesn't hurt to try. So I'm trying to encourage y'all to try, sis, because you have the potential. You really have the potential. All you have to do is put your all into it. I'm gonna put something on my lips real quick, and I'm gonna end this video, but I look cute. I haven't felt this cute in forever. If only I had on like a cute little outfit or something, I'll be popping right now. I'll be popping, sin. But you know what? This red shirt, this t-shirt gonna have to do. Who I thought I was with this bright chapstick. Y'all, this came out cuter than what I expected it to. Yes, sis. Yes, we just slayed that look together, sis. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys really take in all the tips that I gave you. Take them seriously. Practice them. Use them. Because, sis, that is how I got my 3.9 GPA, which could have been a 4.0. Honestly, truly, I believe in you 100% that if you put your complete effort into your schoolwork and all your classes, that you could get good grades. Like, it's going to be easy. It's going to be like ding, like snap, A. Snap, A in that class. Everybody get an A. That's how it's gonna be, sis, for you. Of course, the college journey itself is very challenging and hard. find something that will bring it to life for you. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch my beautiful face on your screen. I love you guys so much. Like, I can't say it enough. I really love you guys. I'm really grateful for 1,000 subscribers. I keep saying this, I know, but if you aren't subscribed already, sis, what is you doing? Help me get my subscriber count all the way up, because it's only the beginning, and I believe that this channel is gonna grow and prosper. So if you want to be my sister from another mista, make sure you hit that subscribe button, sis, and I'll see you in the next one. I love you guys.
New day, new money to be made, new things for them to imitate. Black